Hey, Derek. How you feeling? I heard the surgery went okay. Everything okay?
Yeah. Hey, Miranda. Yeah. I just woke up about 2 hours ago. The doctor explained everything a while ago. Now I'm just sitting bored out of my wits.
Sorry I wasn't there to be by your side. Must have felt a little neglected. I was a bit busy, and besides, I just couldn't walk into a hospital under the circumstances.
Don't worry about it. I'm fine.
So, what happened? How's it going to go from here? I called the doctor, but he wouldn't tell me a thing. Will you be able to walk okay after a little bit of therapy?
Yeah, about that. There was some explanation before the surgery. Apparently, the leg is irreparable. He said I would probably be wheelchair-bound for the rest of my life.
No way. That can't be right!
The doctor said all my nerves and stuff are shot. No chance of them working again. I remember the front seat of the car. It was flat as a pancake. You know what? I was ready for it. I mean, emotionally, I kind of knew I would never walk again. But gotta be honest, reality hurts.
So, what happens now? How are you going to live?
Well, not like I used to, for sure. Gotta change my ways, I guess. Probably I have to fix up the house. Need to make it barrier-free. Ramps, handles, that kind of stuff. Probably have to do major work on the bathroom and shower stall, too. Probably won't be able to drive a car anymore. I was in sales, so probably won't be able to continue working. Not this job, at least. Hopefully the company will keep me on in one shape or another. So I don't think I have to worry about losing my job. But all that experience I gained, it won't be any good to me anymore. The doc will probably explain everything to you about living at home and all. I hate to say this, but this may be hard on you going forward, Miranda.
I'm sorry. I can't do this. Yeah, this is not me. I can't do this.
Excuse me?
I said I can't. I could never do that. I mean, nursing stuff? Taking care of handicapped people? I'm sorry. I don't want to say this, but I can't. I want a divorce.
Wait a sec. Excuse me? Divorce? Are you serious?
That's the only option. I just can't do this. I can't nurse a handicapped guy. I'm sorry. Do you think I could change your bedpan? We're the same age. Oh, no way I could do that. Sorry. Oh, and to think I would have to do it for the rest of my life? For years? No, never. This is not happening. Just thinking about it makes me sick.
Am I hearing you correctly? What the hell do you mean?
And about your job. Can you really continue in the condition? They may keep you on for a while, but you never know. They may fire you after a while. What are you going to do then? Just live off your folks? And you really think you can find a new job? Like that? Do you realize how much it would cost for your therapy? And renovating the house alone will cost a fortune. No way I'm giving up my life. No, future. Just being poor. I'm still young, for crying out loud.
Come on, Miranda. Calm down, would you? I can certainly understand you panicking about this whole thing, but why do you have to be so negative about it all? I'm the victim here. I shouldn't be the one that's depressed.
Anyway, I have no intention of babysitting you forever. I'm going to fill out the divorce papers, so I'll leave it on the kitchen table. When you get home, sign it and submit it ASAP, okay? I won't be there. Don't come looking for me either.
Hold it a second, Miranda! You can't just decide to get divorced, just like that!
I've already made up my mind, so please. Let's just get this over with. And get your folks or friends or whatever to get you home, would you? I can't do it. That's it for me. Goodbye. Hey, Derek! I said hi to you today. Why do you ignore me? I went out of my way to say hello to you, for Pete's sake.
Oh, was that you, Miranda? I had no idea it was you. You've changed.
Yeah, well, I recognized you right away. I spotted this little guy sitting there with a bunch of other businessmen in suits. I took a closer look, and there you were, sitting in your wheelchair. Well, it's been 3 years. Have you gotten used to moving around in your wheelchair?
Yeah, I've gotten pretty good at it. Don't need much help to get around, which is great. How about you, Miranda? You look, your clothes and makeup, sort of flashier than I remember, and your tummy looked kind of big. Did you get remarried?
No, we're not married yet, but we've been living together for the past year or so. We plan to officially tie the knot after the baby is born.
Yeah? Well, congratulations.
I'm really happy now. Nice guy, baby on the way. Oh, boy. Did I make the right decision? I can't imagine what my life would be like if I hadn't divorced you. Being in that wheelchair and all, I bet you're doing some sort of filing work, right? To be honest, you look totally out of place among those businessmen. In contrast to you, my guy, you know how much he makes? He's got an annual salary of over $1 million. You would never measure up to him.
What the hell is this? Did you contact me just to treat me with contempt? If that's the case, goodbye.
Come on, Derek. Just kidding around. I wouldn't do that. I just wanted to share some of our joy and happiness with you, that's all. You wouldn't believe my future husband. He's a real catch. He works at Conrad Industries. I'm sure you've heard of the...
You mean Conrad Corporation?
Yeah, that huge multinational corporation. Anybody working in business knows this company. It's a huge company. If you're looking for work, I could ask my guy. I'm sure he'll find something for you. Oh, he could probably get you a job doing some kind of desk work. It's a big company. I'm sure there's something for you. I mean, truth be told, they have to hire certain types of people. You know what I mean? Just ask for Andrew Sutton at the HR department at Conrad Corporation. They might find you something. You never know. You may be of use to them, image-wise.
Hold on a second. Did you say Andrew Sutton? Is he your boyfriend? This Andrew Sutton?
What? Do you know him or something? Oh, I can't believe this. I didn't realize he was so famous around here.
Yeah, he's one of our lower-ranking employees.
Excuse me? What do you mean by that? Lower-ranking employee?
You said his name was Andrew, right? Sutton? Yeah, I know him. Pretty well, as a matter of fact. He just got recruited and is currently working under me at my company.
Wait. What? What are you talking about? What is this about your company?
Yeah, it's a long story, but my last job? There was no place for me there, so I quit. After that, I joined my uncle's company. My uncle's single, so he was looking for someone to take over the company. To make a long story short, he heard I quit and asked me to take over for him as president of the company. That company is, well, Conrad Corporation.
No way. You're making all this up to get back at me, aren't you? What? Are you telling me you're the CEO of Conrad Corporation?
Yeah, well, it's only been a couple of years, and I'm still learning the ropes. Oh yeah, this guy, Andrew Sutton, I know him well. We just recruited him this year. But I hate to say this, but I really don't hear anything positive about his performance so far. On the first day of work, he arrived 3 hours late. He would say he was going out to meet with a client, but actually, he was at some club having fun with some girls. Obviously, with an attitude like that, well, work performance suffers and... how should I put this? Gets pretty crappy. I really don't understand why HR even hired the guy. Well, he hasn't been here long. Still in the trial period. Probably end with that.
Wait a second. Let me get this straight. You said he got recruited this year, right? He said he's been at the company for like 10 years. He said everyone looks up to him, that he's really busy with clients. Getting new clients all the time. One of your top salespeople. He said he's in line to become vice president. He wears really nice clothes. And I mean, that Rolex.
Oh my god, you fell for that?! That's all BS. And him making $1 million a year? Come on, Miranda. You know that's a bunch of horse crap. He's only been receiving an average salary for about 3 months now. You really think a guy who only started working a few months ago would be making $1 million a year? That's just downright crazy!
But that's what he told me. He was, like, dressed and...
I'm sure he uses that trick on every woman he sees. Anybody can dress up nicely and wear a Rolex. Sure it wasn't a Swatch? As a matter of fact, I saw him the other day. That suit and that leather briefcase he carries around, those were obvious Chinese knockoffs. He seems pretty proud of them, though, showing them off to the office girls. But they were all laughing behind his back.
No way. This is not happening. Was I conned by this guy? I have this child. What am I going to do?
Oh, that reminds me. About your folks. Now that you're back, really wish you would pay them back. Your folks still seem to be having a hard time, you know?
Huh? What are you talking about? What about my parents? Pay them back for what?
The settlement for that crash you caused, and the money for the divorce. Nobody could get in touch with you after you signed those divorce papers and disappeared. You just withdrew all the money from your account, some of which your folks saved for you, and took off on some trip to God knows where. You were just gone. Nobody knew where you were. So, your parents paid for everything. The settlement for the accident, and compensation for the divorce, which you initiated.
Excuse me? Wait, what? Why the hell did you go and do that?
Go and do what? It's my right. You had no job. How could you even pay? All I did was have them pay me on your behalf. Your parents were very apologetic. They were grief-stricken by the whole thing and paid up in full. The total came to $1.5 million.
Excuse me? 1.5... What? Are you nuts?
Yeah. Rehabilitation and therapy, renovating the house, the settlement. They put their home up for sale and any other assets they had. They even dipped into their retirement savings to pay it all off. I heard they're living in a small apartment downtown. Apparently, they're both working to pay off your debt. They said they had no choice but to try and save enough for retirement.
How could you? How could you do that to my parents? Ugh, I can't believe this!
Well, it's because you ran away. You dumped me, you put me in this wheelchair, you refused to nurse me back to health, and just took off. That's why. Do you really think that I wanted that? I wanted to stay married to you. I thought you would have a little remorse. I was a little reluctant to have them pay, but they were adamant about paying. They said they would make you pay them back when you returned home. They said they already sold the house and all the assets they had. I was in trouble too, as you can imagine. I couldn't walk. I needed rehabilitation. It's not cheap, you know. So they offered the settlement, and I took it. It's all your fault that your folks are suffering. Think long and hard about that.
But I was only...
Your folks were in tears. They were furious that you took off. Leaving the whole mess to them, they apologized profusely for what their daughter did. I really felt sorry for them. You really should go and see them. You simply disappeared without even apologizing. You better see them and start paying them back. I hate seeing them like that. It breaks my heart.
How am I supposed to pay that back? It's not something I can pay back in a few months. Besides, I'm broke. I don't have that kind of money.
Well, you said you're going to marry Andy. I can call him Andy, right? Have him pay for it. He makes $1 million annually, right? You could pay it back in like 4 or 5 years, right?
That's impossible! Are you crazy? Besides, all he said was total BS. How can I marry a lying schmuck like that?
But if you don't marry him, what are you going to do with the kid? By the looks of it, you don't have long.
What the hell am I going to do? Hey, Derek, could you... I mean, you haven't remarried or anything yet, right? You know, maybe we can... What I mean is...
Come on, Miranda. Don't tell me you want you and me to be, like, married again. I hope you're not saying that. Sorry to say this, but I have no intention of getting back together with someone who betrayed me. And I really don't want to bring up some other guy's kid. Especially this guy.
Please, I apologize for what I did. I'll do anything, so please, think it over. I'll take care of you, Derek. I'll be your nurse. Please?
No thanks. I really don't need your condolences. As for nursing, I have a professional assistant doing that. So yeah, no thanks. It's not me you should be apologizing to, it's your parents. The divorce has already gone through, and the accident settlement is over with. I have nothing to do with you anymore. We're complete strangers. You guys figure the rest out, and good luck with that.
Please, Derek, wait.
I want nothing to do with you, so don't ever contact me with your BS again. I better go. I have work tomorrow. Good night. I heard later that she really laid into Andy after that. He confessed that all he said was one big lie, that he made the whole thing up. And the nice, spacious apartment they were living at? It turned out it wasn't his, just a monthly rental. Apparently, they argued all night, and after they both fell asleep, he escaped and disappeared. It seems he took all the cash they had and terminated the lease on the apartment. Miranda was left dumbstruck, not knowing what hit her. She had nowhere else to go but to her parents' tiny apartment. After she had the baby, she started working various part-time jobs in order to pay her folks back and to bring up her child. As for Andy, he kept taking time off without permission and eventually got fired. Miranda's child was eventually adopted by a relative and seems to be growing up just fine. If only she had ignored me when we met that time. Maybe she would have enjoyed herself a little longer. You never know. Maybe things would have worked out for her? She had to go out of her way to chide me, which led to her demise. Well, I hope she comes to her senses and lives a respectable life. Maybe she'll get her kid back someday. Me, you ask? Well, I still have a lot to learn. Running a huge company is no easy task. But my uncle has given me the stamp of approval, so I don't plan to let him down anytime soon.
Hey Sasha, how's it going?
Who's this?
Oh, come on, did you forget? It's me, Chelsea.
Oh, it's you. What do you want?
Wow, seriously? I reach out after so long, and this is the cold response I get?
It's been 12 years since I moved out, I guess.
Yep, you should be happier. I mean, your beautiful, adorable little sister is reaching out to you. That alone should bring you to tears. I don't really get why you're acting all distant with me.
You don't think there's a reason for that?
Nope, not at all.
Uh-huh. Well, it's good to know that after almost 12 years of not hearing from you, nothing has changed.
Of course not. Can't you tell how amazing I am, even through just a text?
Yeah, your overblown ego seems to have gotten even worse.
Excuse me?
You've always been like this, though. Ever since we were kids, you thought you were the center of the universe. I remember in kindergarten, you say, "I'm everyone's princess," every day and act like that at home, too. And at the running race, you just walked up to the starting line even though it wasn't your turn, and said, "If I run, we'll win." No one even asked you to.
Well, I was the fastest. Everyone probably wanted me to run, right?
No, pretty sure they were more annoyed than anything. And at the school play, even though you weren't the lead, you just walked up to the front and started waving like, "Everyone, look at me." Remember that?
It's crazy they didn't pick me for the lead. I was the most stunning one on stage. Just because some girl was a little better at acting, she got the part, even though she wasn't as petty as me. And who wants to watch some boring lead actress when I'm there? So naturally, I stepped up and waved to the crowd to make them happy. I've always had a generous spirit, haven't I?
Yeah, well, no one really appreciated that. Didn't you notice that everyone was seriously weirded out by you? You've never cared how people reacted to you. You always believed you were the star of the show.
Because I am the most dazzling one, so what's the problem?
Yeah, sure. Alright, I'm done here. I've got work to get back to.
Oh, hold on. I haven't even gotten to the point yet.
There's more?
I'm getting married.
Oh yeah? Well, congratulations. I assume I'm not invited to the wedding, right?
Wow, you catch on quick, don't you?
Didn't think I'd be invited from the start.
So I guess I don't need to tell you the time or place, huh?
Doesn't matter.
Are you sure about that?
If you want to tell me, go ahead. Either way, I'm not coming.
That's kind of a vague response, but okay. Just know your lack of interest might lead to some regrets later.
How so? Whatever, it doesn't matter. Even if I were invited, I wouldn't go, so no worries.
Got it. I'm really looking forward to the big day.
Yeah. Be happy somewhere out of my sight, please.
Oh, you'll notice me. When you're as gorgeous and eye-catching as I am, you can't be ignored.
By the way,
What
do you even look like again?
Huh?
I mean, I remember you being obnoxiously self-absorbed and bothering everyone, but for some reason I just can't recall your face.
What?
Honestly, I might not recognize you if I saw you now. Your face is so different from mine, and there's really nothing that stands out in my memory. It's been 12 years after all. My memory's fading.
Hold on. Forgetting your own sister's face is awful.
It's not my fault. I just can't remember.
There's no way you forgot someone as beautiful as me.
It looks like getting all hysterical when someone mentions your face hasn't changed.
What did you say?
Oops, I've got some work to do.
Wait! I'm not done talking yet.
Well, I'm out of time. My break's over and I've got a meeting now. Bye!
Hey, Sasha, did you see the pictures I sent you? Come on, tell me what you think. Sasha! Oh, I get it. You're ignoring me because you're jealous of how gorgeous I look, right? My wedding dress is stunning, isn't it? It's custom made. It fits my body perfectly. Like it was designed for a model. Every pose I struck looked like it belonged on a magazine cover. I felt like a princess looking at myself in the mirror. Seriously, reply already. I know you're jealous, but all you have to do is say, "You look beautiful," and it'll be fine, right? By the way, something even more amazing is about to happen. You better be ready because you're going to be floored. Oh, poor you. You're probably crying your eyes out right now.
What are you talking about?
Pretending not to know. You're too funny.
No, seriously. I have no idea what you mean.
How does it feel to have your fiancé stolen on the morning of your wedding? But you never thought I would be the one to steal him, huh?
Wait, what? Oh, today's your wedding day?
You're so clueless.
So who exactly stole what now?
I'm saying I stole your fiancé. When I texted you the first time after 12 years, he was already mine. When I heard you were getting married, I thought there was no way my ugly older sister would get married before gorgeous me. So I made sure to take him away.
Okay. Which fiancé are we talking about?
What do you mean, which? Stop playing dumb. It's Tate, obviously.
Wait, Tate?
Yep, I stormed into the groom's room in my wedding dress this morning and told him I wanted to marry him, so forget the other woman and make me his bride. Let me tell you, it was too easy. Men really are weak when it comes to beautiful women. All it took was some flirty eyes and he was putty in my hands. So there we were, me in my wedding dress, him in his tux, in the groom's room. We stripped off everything and pledged our love. Too bad for you, Sasha. I stole your fiancé and your bride's title.
Now that you mention it. Are you talking about Tate, my ex from 5 years ago?
Wait, what? Ex?
Yeah, he's my ex.
From 5 years ago?
Yeah. Back then I got transferred for work and we had to do long distance for about half a year. That's when we slowly started drifting apart. At first, we stayed in touch regularly, texting and calling to reassure each other. But as time went on, the distance made it harder to find time to talk, and our conversations became less meaningful. With the time difference and long-distance misunderstandings piling up, our emotional distance just kept growing. At first, we'd plan visits and trips, but eventually, even those plans faded away. We were both busy, and I was especially swamped with work. Then one day, he told me he had feelings for someone else. I figured it couldn't be helped and broke things off.
Wait. Hold on a sec. I always thought you guys were still together.
Well, after 5 years, there's a good chance we'd have broken up, right? And we did. It was tough at the time, but I've moved on now. Looking back, I think it was a natural end to things.
But I thought an ugly woman like you would cling to the first guy she miraculously got and never let him go.
Wow, that's quite the assumption.
Is it?
So, based on what you just said, you've basically stolen him from his actual fiancée and crashed the wedding, right? The bride probably has no idea this is happening and is getting ready as we speak.
Oh no, I didn't think about that.
Whoops, looks like you've really messed up.
Why are you acting like this isn't your problem?
Well, it's not.
Come on!
You got yourself into this, so you need to figure it out yourself.
I don't know. What am I supposed to do?
Not my problem. I got a date with my boyfriend now.
A date? You have a boyfriend?
Bye!
This is the worst. This is all your fault.
You again, Chelsea? What now?
Tate's fiancé is demanding I pay her compensation.
Well, that's no surprise.
You need to pay it for me.
Why me?
Because it's your fault for breaking up with him.
I can break up with whoever I want. That's none of your business.
You should have told me when you did.
I didn't owe you that kind of information.
I only work part-time, so I don't have the money. You've got a good paying full-time job, right? Pay for your cute little sister.
I've never thought you were cute. Why don't you ask Mom and Dad? They've always spoiled you, treating you like the cutest thing in the world. I'm sure they'll help.
I can't rely on them.
Why not?
They kicked me out.
Seriously?
Yeah, it turns out Tate's fiancée is the daughter of Dad's boss. Now Dad's about to lose his face at work and he's furious at me.
Huh.
Is that all you've got to say? And this all started because you broke up with Tate. You owe me the compensation money.
What about Tate? Can't he help cover it? I thought you decided to marry him.
I broke up with him. Actually, we weren't even dating in the first place.
Oh.
He said he just got carried away in the moment and gave in to temptation. and somehow I'm the one getting blamed for it. He even yelled at me saying I ruined his future happiness.
Seems like both of you are a mess.
So I'm a victim too. That means you need to pay the compensation for me.
Not my problem. Goodbye.
Wait! Serves you right. I can just picture your face now crying out of jealousy. But you know when ugly people cry, they just look even worse. It's honestly unbearable to look at it.
Excuse me?
This time I really stole your fiancé. It's been a few months since everything happened and it was super hard for me. But I finally figured out who your real fiancé is. And guess what? I've successfully stolen him this time.
Huh?
Remember when you said you were going on a date with your boyfriend? I couldn't believe an ugly girl like you had a boyfriend. Let alone the future CEO. I don't know how you managed to snag such a high-profile guy, but he's way too good for you. So naturally, I stepped in and took him for myself. Thanks to that, I can now easily pay off the compensation Tate's ex-fiancé demanded from me. A future CEO. Thanks, Sasha.
Seriously, what are you talking about?
Oh, come on, don't pretend you don't get it. Today really is the day. It's your wedding, isn't it?
Huh?
You're not worthy of marrying the CEO's son. So the beautiful bride will be me instead.
Chelsea? What nonsense are you spouting this time?
Nonsense? Want to know the identity of your groom?
What groom? Never mind, just tell me his name like the last time.
It's Nathan.
Nathan? Is it Nathan Clark?
Of course! This time it's my victory. Feels like I've won it all.
This Nathan Clark you're talking about? He's actually the future CEO of a company that does business with the one I work for.
Oh, you work for his client company?
Yes, we've had a long-standing relationship. Since I moved to my current department, we've collaborated on several joint projects. We've had many opportunities to meet, mainly for large international trade contracts and discussions about securing new business partners. He's young but extremely capable, and he's fantastic at leading his team and managing projects. We trust him as a business partner. There was even a time when we were negotiating a major contract, and both of us had to push hard for our respective companies' interests. It was a tough negotiation.
I see.
He may seem friendly and easygoing, but when it comes to business, he's sharp and strict. After that negotiation, we built a strong sense of mutual trust, which led to more deals between our companies. I haven't seen him much since I transferred, but during a 3-week business trip to his city, we met up a few times and even had dinner together.
A business trip?
Yeah. Remember when I told you about the transfer that caused the long-distance relationship with Tate? That transfer was actually to an overseas branch.
Overseas?
Yep. Occasionally I come back for business trips to the headquarters or other branches in the US. When I had dinner with Nathan, it was strictly business.
Wait a sec. So, all that stuff you were talking about with projects and meetings, you're saying it's just work between you guys?
Exactly. Now that I think about it, during that trip, I stayed near my old apartment. Did you happen to see us together and then jump to the conclusion I figured out my sister's boyfriend?
Wait, no way. Could it be? Am I wrong again?
Yep, totally wrong. Also, I've been in a relationship with a local guy for the past 2 years, and we got married 2 months ago.
Holy cow!
Yep, an international marriage. We only invited his family and some friends I've made here to the wedding.
You didn't tell me anything!
Well, I'm telling you now.
That's just after the fact.
Listen, do you really think I'm obligated to report every detail of my life to you or our parents? After being treated like an outsider in the family, constantly compared to you, do you really think I owe anyone an update?
You don't have to say it like that.
It's not about how I say it, it's the truth. Ever since we were kids, Mom and Dad always praised you, saying how cute and smart you were, right?
Well, it's not my fault. I'm 100 times cuter and smarter than you.
But even for siblings, that kind of favoritism was pretty extreme. They always compared me to you in everything. Chelsea is the better one, they say. At school events, they'd go all out taking pictures of you. But during my moments, they wouldn't even bother to watch. Even birthdays, they'd go all out for you, while mine were barely acknowledged.
Was it really like that?
You probably don't remember, but I'll never forget. When you were in high school, they paid for an expensive private tutor and did everything to make sure you got into college. But when it was me, they left me alone and told me to figure it out on my own. I was kicked out as soon as I graduated high school. I'll never forget the smug look on your face when that happened.
With you gone, they could spend all their money on me.
Even though you were always skipping school and barely studying, they paid for you to go to a private university. Meanwhile, I went to a public college, paying for it myself with scholarships and part-time jobs while living alone. Somehow I've managed to get by these last 12 years with help from the people around me. But honestly, I never thought I'd still have to deal with you obsessing over my life like this.
I just couldn't stand the idea of you being happier than me. An ugly sister unloved by our parents should always be more miserable than me, and constantly suffering.
So that's why you tried to steal my fiancé. But you've made a huge mistake, twice now, by getting all excited over nothing and targeting the wrong guy both times.
Shut up! It's your fault for being so misleading. That's why I thought he was your fiancé. Whatever. Once I marry Nathan, my future will be secure.
That's not going to happen.
Why not?
Because he's supposed to marry the current CEO's daughter.
What?
Yeah, he's next in line because he's marrying the CEO's daughter. But now, thanks to your little stunt, the wedding is probably off. And he's looking at being demoted. Or worse, fired.
Oh my gosh! What do you mean?
I don't know what to tell you. Just like with Tate, you've done this to yourself, so you'll have to figure it out on your own. That's all I can say.
No way! This is the same as last time. Am I getting hit by compensation again?
Maybe it's time you get a real job.
No way! I can't pay it all by myself. Please, Sasha, help me! Please, Sasha!
And so, Chelsea ended up getting hit with another compensation claim. It's pretty unbelievable that she'd make the same mistake twice after failing so badly the first time. She must be incredibly foolish. Apparently, word of her mess reached our parents, who suddenly flipped and said they wanted to get along with me again. It's obvious they're only crawling back because they can't rely on Chelsea to take care of them in their old age. So I blocked them immediately. In the end, Chelsea had to borrow money from multiple places to pay off the compensation. Now, rumor has it, she's working in an industry I'd rather not even mention, just to pay off her debts. And she's completely worn out, both physically and mentally. Honestly, it's her own fault. I no longer consider her or my parents as part of my family. From here on out, I'm going to focus on building a happy life with my loving husband.